afternoon, and thank you very much for reaching out to me to share and educate my subscribers, viewers on your experience with a romance scammer. So, may I know you, please?
Yes, thank you, Home Truth. First, I want to say I really, really appreciate this opportunity that you're giving me on your platform. I have been really wanting and praying to be able to do this for quite a while. So I
Okay.
appreciate being here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, tell us, what do you have for us today?
Yes, my reason for being here is because he knew me as Deidre on it's a Christian dating app,
Mm,
Christian Dating for Free.
Christian dating
And
for
the
free.
yes, Christian Dating for Free. And the gentleman that I dealt with is Kennedy.
Kennedy.
His name is Kennedy.
Okay. Is that his name on the app, or that's his real name?
His name on the app is Know Me Forever.
Know me forever. Okay. So, guys, take notes. Christian dating app for free. Know me forever. That's the username. Continue, please.
So yes, I dealt with him on and off for 2 years.
2 years. Okay.
When I Yes. When I first got on the app, I already pretty much knew quite a bit about scamming, some of the different scamming techniques.
Okay.
So when I had already dealt with a couple of men on the app that were underage. I was 60 at the time. I'm
Okay.
now 63.
Okay. Sorry to cut you back. You were 60 as of then, and how
Yes,
old was this gentleman?
56.
50.
56.
Oh, okay.
He's now he's now 58. He was 56 at the time.
56. Okay. So for age, 4 years difference. Okay.
Yes. So I felt comfortable. Okay, first of all, he contacted me from Gambia.
Gambia.
So I was a little hesitant. So, whether or not I wanted to deal with someone,
Hmm.
have a relationship with someone
Right.
from out of the country.
Right.
So that was one of the things that I was already skeptical about.
Hmm.
So we started communicating on the app. We were on there for about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So, it was nice communication. We talked of Christian things,
Right.
about traveling, things like that.
Okay.
So I felt comfortable.
Right.
I felt pretty comfortable chatting with him. So I was the one who initiated getting off the app,
Oh,
communicating off the app.
okay.
So I had already had a little bit of experience with WhatsApp.
Okay.
But the interesting thing, Home Truth, was when he gave me his first number. And I'll say the first number, I don't know why I had in my head that I could call him, like a regular phone call,
Right.
or not call him yet,
Right.
but begin to chat with him. So I did that. And
Hmm.
then on the app, I immediately like, this phone number is not working.
Oh,
So, yes. So his response to that, he gave me a second phone number,
okay. That's weird.
which, yes, which I went ahead and put in, and that number worked. But looking back in retrospect, let me tell you the thing about that. As I begin to watch more videos, and I'll say as of a couple of months ago,
Mm-hmm.
I came into the knowledge that a lot of scammers use more than one phone,
Right.
especially when they're married.
Right.
Okay, but I had that in the back of my head, but that didn't quite occur to me then.
Mm,
Okay, so we started talking on WhatsApp, communicating quite a bit.
mhm.
Um, he brought up a phone call, which I didn't have a problem doing because I'm thinking, okay, we both need to hear each other's voice. So, I understand that he wanted to, know that he was speaking with a lady.
Right.
So we went ahead. We did just a regular audio voice call over WhatsApp. We did that a couple of times, and then he brought up video chatting. I wasn't ready to do that yet.
Hmm.
So the thing that I want to let women know and let you know as well, he is a very, very patient, organized scammer.
So basically, he had everything all planned from the beginning. He had a path on how he wanted to do what he wanted to do and everything. So he was just patient on the clear path. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And I'm going to speak a little bit on that as we continue. So, there came a point, I guess maybe within a couple of weeks, I went ahead and I did a video chat with him
Okay.
of the video. Okay, so here's the thing. I felt at the beginning, and I want to say he was really a gentleman. I felt okay, he's a little like, you know, I began to research a little bit of the culture because he did let me know that he was Nigerian. So I was
Mm,
doing this all alone.
okay.
Okay, so I remember one of the chats that we did before video calling. He was giving me a little bit of his background. I was asking him a couple of questions, and he let me know that he was a traditional man, a
Okay.
very traditional man. So I
Uh,
said,
can I just pause you a bit? Did he tell you what?
yes.
Did he tell you what tribe of Nigeria he is actually coming from?
Okay, I was the one who asked him that.
Ah, okay.
I asked him that because, yeah, a couple of the other gentlemen that I chatted with, I asked that as well. And I had already, when a gentleman told me his tribe, I did a lot of research.
Hmm.
So I was already familiar with a couple of tribes. His tribe is Issachar. And I apologize if I'm not pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what he let me know.
Say that
So
again. Say
then
that again, please. Say that again.
Issaco, Isoke, I think it
Isoko. Oh,
is.
okay, okay. Isoko. That's from the Niger Delta part of Nigeria. Yeah, Isoko. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, go.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes. So he let me know that is what his tribe was. So I asked him, "What are your feelings on, in other words, the relate like I got at what are your, in other words, biblically, what are your feelings
Hmm.
on how a marriage, a relationship would be?" So he uh, communicated back, type this, the man owns the woman.
Okay.
So I immediately typed that. I typed back to him. I said, "No man owns me, only God owns me."
Right.
So then he typed back, "Are you African?" I said, "I'm black. I'm a Black American lady."
Yes.
So that was one of the beginning conversations that we had. Okay. So then at the point I felt comfortable enough to video chat with him, this was probably 4 weeks into us communicating. So I message him and let him know, well, if you're still interested in video chatting. So I went out to my car, went ahead and we began video chatting. So the thing about it, he had not started the love bombing
Okay.
until the minute I video chatted with him.
Yeah.
That's what made me feel comfortable, like he was serious. And then his age.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, the age.
immediately when we begin, yes, yes, we begin that video chatting. One of the first things that he told me, you're so adorable, beautiful,
Yeah,
all of that.
right.
Okay. So we continued, got off that video, continued chatting. So then we began, and even on the app, I'll take it back to the app. I asked him, because in his description on the app, it said that he was willing to relocate.
Yeah,
So I let him know as we began chatting that I did not want to live in Gambia. I did not want to live in Africa, that I wanted to stay here in the US.
right.
So his response to that, well, that's okay. If the mountain won't come to me, I'll come to the mountain. So that was, yeah. So that made me feel comfortable. And I did, in all honesty, I did not understand all of what it took yet to bring a man here.
Hmm.
Okay. So here comes this part. So we began chatting about that. He let me know that he was a very simple man.
Okay.
He did not have regular work. He worked a lot with the church and in the church.
Oh.
Now, his reason, okay, so on the app, he had satellite technician, which changed to technician. That
Hmm.
was his job.
Right.
So he told me the reason he could not get regular work is because in Gambia,
Hmm.
they gave the work to citizens. An example, he had a friend that was hired at a company, and the company had to pay a whole lot of fees in order to employ this friend.
That's strange.
Yeah, so that sounded off to me too, and I tried to do research on that, and I could never find the clear answer on that, and I never brought that up in conversation again.
Right.
Okay, so after I started doing my research, I brought up to him, it came up that, in other words, I would have to go there to meet him.
In the Gambia.
And he said, yes, to Gambia. And I was like, well, no problem. And then a lot of women, he was saying, did this. Okay, so home truth, here comes the interesting part.
Yeah, roll it.
So I did research. Okay, so let me backtrack because manipulation came in this as well.
Okay.
So what he would do, okay, what he did, he told me about, and he's been on this app through during COVID.
Oh.
And I'll bring this up because this is how long he's been on this app.
Oh.
So he had met a lady that was supposed to come and actually visit him. But what happened with this, unfortunately, the lady passed away,
Mm.
before
Yeah.
she could come there. If this is a true story, if that was a true story. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not clear on I'm not clear on that.
Right.
So as I began to do the research, I began to see that this would take quite a bit of money.
Mm.
So he had already talked about, and I guess when I think back on it in retrospect, he was already not talking about money, but bringing up how, I guess, people with money
Hmm.
and God, keep in mind, putting on their heart to share and help other people.
Oh, manipulation.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So I had already told him, and, I'm of the belief that what you do to help others, you don't brag or boast about it.
Right.
So, I told him about one situation where I had helped someone,
Hmm.
and I never brag or boast about the things that I do.
Right.
So um, it went on from there. So I asked him, I said, would you, I text this to him. I said, would you be willing to at least help if I do come with getting your visa on your end to come here? Home truth, why did I say that? Why that he immediately made a phone call to me and began to lecture me about, I guess, in other words, people, how you do things and how you don't expect money in return when
Right.
you have money and God putting things on your heart to help other people.
Whoa.
So, okay, I let him go ahead and talk. We got off the phone. So we kept, chatting.
Right.
So I did research and I found out that I would have to get a yellow fever shot.
Yeah.
Keep
Yeah.
in mind, I'm 60. So I researched that and it would have been detrimental to my health. I
Whoa.
found that out. So at that point, I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt that I wasn't putting my health at risk
Risk.
and I wasn't going to Gambia. So I was not going to stay, lead him on
Right.
and stay in this relationship because I at that point was still thinking it was real. He was genuine.
Right.
So I started out by texting him, chatting with him, and telling him about the risk of the shot. And
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel, that I was going to be able to go with through with that and come.
Right.
So then that was immediately another phone call.
Oh,
So, yeah. So here's the interesting part. He started, in other words, kind of trying to talk me into coming, still coming. So I said to him, I said, did you get the shot? And he told me yes.
okay.
I said,
Maria,
would you?
just to pause you a bit, the network seemed to be a little bit shaky. I don't know
Okay,
if you need to change a location somewhere. I don't know. I don't know if it's
okay,
for me, so we can have a stable network so everyone
okay.
can hear you.
Let me try this and tell me if it's better.
Okay.
Okay, so I went ahead and took you off speaker. Is that better?
Oh, that's better. Yeah. Good.
Okay, so I went ahead and I took you off speaker.
Good. Thank you
Okay,
so much.
okay. So he tried to begin to try to talk me into still coming despite the risk of me getting the shot.
Wow.
So I asked him if he had gotten it, and he told me yes. So then he said how I could still come and just, at that point, tell them that I did not want to get a shot, get the vaccine,
Wow.
and then that I could pay a fee and they would let me through.
Wow.
So I said, no, I don't want to risk I said, what if I get bitten or something happens
Right.
while I do that?
And the worst thing is he claims to be a Christian and he wants to lie and cheat the system.
Yes,
Okay, that's a red flag.
yes,
Continue.
yes, it was. So then I said, I said, I'm going to go ahead and end this because I know that I'm not coming. I know I'm not going to come.
Hmm.
So I went ahead and I ended it. Okay. So then I began to home truth watch more videos
Right.
and it occurred to me and in the meantime I happened to have go to the doctor,
Right.
for my annual checkup.
Hmm.
And I asked my doctor, her opinion on this. And she told me, no, do not risk your life. I
Simple.
forgot that part. She said, I've been going to this doctor for years. And she
Hmm.
told me, I'm just going to tell you honestly, you shouldn't do it.
Good.
So at the point my doctor told me that I should not do this, I knew that I shouldn't do it.
Right.
So here's the thing, home truth. So I, in speaking with my doctor, I forgot about that. I told him that as well. So I definitely ended it. Okay, then I began to do a little more research and I found out that I could get my doctor to do a letter for me
Hmm.
about the risk of my health and I would still be able to go.
Right.
But I, at that point, had already made up my mind that I wasn't going to go.
Hmm.
So something kept tugging at me, go back in and go deal with him again. Go back in and go deal with him again, gather more information. I'm a very prayerful lady, very prayerful. And I'll say that God put it on my heart to go back in and deal with him.
Wow. That's it.
So home truth, yes. So this began the second phase of it for me. A couple of months had passed. I had already deleted his information on WhatsApp. So I went back in and I made my profile again on the Christian app, Christian Dating for Free. I saw he was still on the app. Keep in mind that he had been on there even since while COVID was going on.
Yeah.
So I made my profile, I contacted him on the app. So I asked him for his phone number again. He contacted me. He gave me his phone number again.
Okay.
So
So
I
sorry.
went back in.
Sorry to pause you. Did you go back as the same person, or you had another profile going back?
The the same exact
Ah,
person.
okay. All right.
Yes, same exact person, and I contacted him. So when I contacted him again,
Mm-hmm.
we we began to text,
Right.
and he said how he was so happy to speak with me again,
Uh-huh.
how he had prayed that God would send me back to him.
Oh
So
man.
I began to chuckle and I just said, thought in my head, you have no idea.
Oh my.
You have no idea. So we began to chat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I wondered, where this would lead.
Right.
So in watching and in listening now to your videos, I realized this was his plan B
Plan
because
B.
plan A failed.
Right.
He knew that I was not going to come there.
Mm-hmm.
He knew that there was no way of getting me there. So plan B with the money.
Right.
Here's plan B with the money.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to say again the psychological part,
Mm.
the very well organized part in this
Okay.
with him.
Okay.
So he never, and I'll preface this by saying he never directly asked me for money,
Right.
never directly asked.
Mm-hmm.
So he planted the seed when we started texting again that briefly brought up about his rent, how it was now time for him, how he paid his rent yearly, and it was now, time that for him to now pay his rent again.
Right.
So I'll say now this is probably, if I had to say the month, around no, late November, going into early December,
Right.
Christmas time as well.
Right.
So, oh, I'm going to backtrack and say this. With the first time home truth that I talked to him, and then I'm going to come back to this second time as well.
Okay.
So, this is where the patience and the psychological part came in the first time. He let me know that he was very patient, explained to him how a lot of Western women they got jealous, they wanted to rush things, they were not patient.
Right.
We were not patient women. Okay, so also what happened when I began really chatting with him the first time before I cut it off. So the chats, everything going along well, going along good as well before the whole thing of, the whole money situation, all of that. So what he did was, and I realized too, this is where the love bombing and where the patience and where he really had me, because in the first stage, I remember where we were messaging,
Each other.
through the day.
Right.
So one morning he had messaged, and I would always let him message first
Right.
because I never want to begin the thread of messages because I never wanted to come off as being
Desperate.
desperate.
Good. That's very good.
Yes.
Very good.
So I always let him contact me first.
Very good.
So one morning he had contacted me, and then he had tried to call me like maybe a couple hours later, and I did not answer because I did not have my phone in that room. I was doing other things. So
Hmm.
I saw where he had called me, and this was probably maybe like 30 minutes later. So I tried to call him back and he didn't answer. So I was like, oh, well, okay. He didn't answer. He'll try to contact me later. So by then, quite a few more hours had passed, maybe 3, 4 hours. So I text him. I said, is everything okay? I tried to call you. I haven't heard from you.
Mm.
So I left it at that.
Right.
So the following morning, I had not heard from him. So I messaged him. I went ahead and I messaged him because I thought, okay, this is really odd.
Yeah.
So then he calls me and he begins to, I don't even know how to really explain it, like kind of irritated. Why am I? And I said, well, I said, if you had tried to contact me and I wasn't responding, I said, wouldn't that have kind of gotten you a little concerned? So
Yes.
this was his reason for not contacting me. And I knew that he was working in the church, and
Right.
he had I can't remember what the name of the I don't even wanna say it was a festival, but a celebration,
Okay.
and he told me that everyone had spent the night in the church.
Everyone.
Everyone had spent the night in the church.
Okay. Right.
So, I found that odd. So, let me say this as well. I have 3 grown children.
Hmm.
My son at the time was probably 30, 31. My oldest daughter, probably 37.
Right.
My youngest daughter, 34. So I'm communicating all of this with them as well
Very good.
because my children and I are very
Very
close.
good. Yeah.
He knew, and I'll say this too, he knew that my youngest daughter was living with me. His youngest daughter was supposedly living with him.
Okay.
And see, I forgot to I guess if you don't mind me backtracking some of this, I forgot to
Yeah.
mention all of this as
It's
well.
totally fine. It's totally fine. Miriam, it's totally fine.
Okay,
Hmm.
okay. So his reason when we talked in the beginning for being divorced as well, we talked about that. was because the lady that he had married was Muslim.
Muslim. Yeah.
And yes, he's a Christian man.
Hmm.
Okay. So he did not want to convert. So the marriage was dissolved. And he went ahead and kept his three daughters because he did not want another man raising his children. I forgot to say all of this
Okay.
in the beginning as well.
Okay.
So
did he give you like a time frame when he divorced his wife? At what age were his kids? Because by law, I know you don't keep the kids, especially when their mom is still alive and they are this age of dependency. When they get to 18, yes, they can make their choices. But did he give you any time frame on this?
they were young.
They were
They
young.
were not 18.
Okay. Well,
See, home truth, I didn't know that until you just, and keep in mind, I did contact you.
yeah, I
I
know.
did contact you, but I did not contact you until the second stage.
Okay.
Okay. So I forgot to bring up, this whole situation.